mixed tape, her mixed
Oh,
duet with her late father, very similar to it. And that was the musical source for it anyhow. So enjoy. There's still some pre-release copies available, signed, dated, straight from me, no shipping and handling, and it's up on there through my PayPal account. Just go through my PayPal account, which is bethsabard@aol.com, and you got it.
I read it, and it's an excellent book.
Yeah, thanks to the great review. I have a couple of reviewers. I don't know if you want to be recognized, but a lot of people from Brownstone gave it a wonderful review. And it was more like a real New York Times review. I appreciate it.
thank you.
We had really, really 7 or 8 really fabulous reviews on the book from very prestigious people. Thank you a lot. And it's gotten such good words so far.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my copy, Beth.
Yeah, well,
Patty,
you
can I
know,
break in? Hillary texted me and she can't get in.
Who?
Hillary Sedaris.
I have no idea. The link was sent to her.
Yeah,
Why?
she got it at 1:00. So she has to be able to log in. Tell her that the password that it asks for is her login password.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're gonna have to just share.
Yeah,
like
I had a problem also with, I just sent a message to Susan Murray. Susan Murray claimed she never got the link.
You got it at 1. Everybody got it at 1.
I mean, she's like bugging me.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what I
here
think.
she comes. That's her. That's Susan Murray.
Hi, Patricia.
Yeah, I mean, it was sent to you at 1:00, dear.
Oh, was it? Okay, I did
You don't
it.
have to check your
And
emails.
yeah, there's something wrong with my email, I think.
Somebody gotta had to change her.
Yeah, I don't know. If worst comes to worst, Patricia will just send a copy of her own link to
That's
help.
what I had to do.
Yeah, that's
It was
what.
kind of late and I have to be off. I have to welcome the people here.
Yeah,
At
I
least
would do
5
that
minutes.
now, Patricia. I would just send her your own link.
I did. She's on. She's on my
Okay.
own link. Oh, you talk about Hillary?
Hillary.
Yeah, hold on.
Okay, so let me change Susan Murray. So when
Yeah,
it
hold on. Let me
shows
just
up.
hold on. Let me just send it to Hillary. Jesus Christ. Let me just see. Hold on. Ay, ay, ay.
Well, I just texted her that they're saying you have to use your login.
Yeah, you have to log in. I mean, she's been on this call before, so she should know that.
yeah.
Link is not working. She claims the link is not working.
Okay, send her your link. That's it.
I just did.
Okay.
You know, why they have to, they keep sending me because I think I can give out the links. I know I don't. Frustrating. Can someone call her and tell her that I just sent her my link?
I cannot. I'm on airplane mode.
I'll text her.
Jerry, can you tell her or somebody?
I'm telling her.
Okay, great.
Or send them your link.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we sent it to her. She should.
Didn't you send her a link
I sent it to her. I don't know if she even.
just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me change the second copy of Patricia to Susan Murray.
Another redhead. Hopefully hopefully Hillary responds.
I just texted her to try the new link. I had to reset my password through Zoom. It wasn't taking it.
Yeah, well, maybe, I think, every so often they ask you to
You gotta
reset.
do that. You gotta like
Yeah,
update it.
right.
Yeah.
Time for me to start.
Yeah, I don't know. I already started the live stream. Let me get the recording started. We got to start.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna welcome
So give me a
everybody.
second.
If anybody comes on, they'll be late.
Why can't I start my video? Okay, hold on.
I don't see Jack here. I don't see a lot of people.
Well, I reminded him this morning.
Julio, I don't think is coming.
Okay, so guys, we are, just so you know, we are now recording. We are now on live stream, and we're going to start.
Hello, welcome to Brownstone Poets. It's a beautiful day here in Brooklyn. It's in the 70s and the sun is out. Spring has officially come to Brooklyn. So happy. Give yourself a warm welcome. We have three fabulous features today. We have Lynn McGee, Gerald Wagner, and Hillary Sedaris will be here shortly. And plus we have the open mic. We have the chat room here. As far as the chat room goes, it's a place where it's a safe space for us to share positivity, no negativity, please. Nice converse with the poets, give nice positive feedback on the poems. Also, please promote your books and your upcoming features. We welcome that here. And this is the lineup here. We usually start with about 8 to 10 open micers, and we're going to have features 1 and 2. That will be Lynn McGee and Gerald Wagner. And then we're going to have a 15-minute break. And after the 15 minutes break, when Roxy returns, we're going to have Hillary Sedaris as our final feature. All the features get 15 minutes each. And then after Hillary finishes, we have the rest of the open mic. We try to keep it like 3 minutes. And that's it. So I'll just read off who's in the first group here. We have Ron Bremer, Austin Alexis. A lot of people not showing up here. Let's see, Kate. I don't see Barry Weinstein here. Wallenstein, okay.
You want to start with Caroline so she can give the statement?
Yeah, okay, we'll start with Carolyn, okay? And I'll reiterate who's on, okay? Carolyn, please unmute and share and do the blessing. Thank you.
There we are. Thank you, everyone.
And sorry to interrupt. And the rest of us, please mute unless you're speaking. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you again. I'm in Toronto, but we acknowledge the land we are on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississauga of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississauga of the Credit. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. Now, do you want me to read?
Yeah, might as well.
Okay.
Yep.
Having said that, from Toronto, the poem I've chosen is from a chapbook I did during the pandemic called Portrait Gallery. The title is American History. Out of the winds of change, a boy is born, curious and alert. His project is to grow into a man of many parts. His life spans half the world before he's 10 years old. From how full of wonder that may seem to those of us who stay at home. That is the new reality of lives encircling the globe. This little boy, Obama, brings two continents together. Then in his decisive years, he seeks the urban center where his far-flung heritage finds a home in history. Here, the man Obama speaks in his determined voice, discovers hope, acknowledges the dreams of many who had gone before. Like a triumphant harvester, he enters the field to gather all the dreams and aspirations, stories and sufferings, wars and reconciliation of his sisters and brothers. He handles them, he bundles them in his audacious arms. He climbs the monumental steps, and to the cheers of thousands, he lays claim to the steep path of his own destiny. January 20th, 2009.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay. Next, we're going to have Ron Bremer. And after Ron Bremer, we're going to have Austin Alexis, Beth S.K. Morris, and Kate. Okay, take it away, Ron, and unmute and share.
Okay. This poem is currently out in an online journal called Frazzled Lit, and the poem is called Serenity Teaches, and I'll put the link in the chat. Serenity teaches beauty in a wall of Buddhist sleep. Many go straight to the knowing of why. Strange experiences within are alive and well on earth, despite the second-hand struggles to escape. Wise women and men temporarily defeat their racist past, only to assure a murdered future. Dogs are unique, but not psychic, no matter how much they seem to be and how much we want them to be. Cambodian street life, Nepali imaginations, Skid Row clerics all give detailed instructions on how to get one's prayers answered. It's been assumed by those more intelligent than I that dying is a trip to divine beaches in Hawaii. But that does not cure the anger that hangs in the air, where we breathe it in and find that we can only hope to be more unusual, entertaining, or valuable than a bee's backside. And I have one more short one, which was published in Aftermath. This one is called 360 Degrees. 360 degrees can't keep them down on the farm, with ghosts walking in broad daylight, who blink and sweat in the glare of the sun's majestic overtures, after they've seen obsolete caricatures of forebears drenched in soot and blood that cannot be washed off by egg yolks, leaking shame and guilt. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
Thank you. So Hillary is here.
Is she finally on? Okay, great.
Great. Yay. Welcome. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ron, for sharing.
Hillary,
Fantastic.
I was just texting you, so just ignore my text.
Okay. Alicia,
Yeah.
yeah.
I started doing that too, so I just deleted my text.
Okay, great. Okay, we move on to Austin Alexis. Please unmute and share. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Two short poems. The first one is called The House Tree. And you used to be able to see this tree behind me when I did a Zoom poetry reading, but you'll hear the story of the tree. The House Tree. My living room corner features your vertical dying, your leaves curled, desert dry, your root clutched in soil arid as planet Mercury. Too forgetful to water you on schedule, I have to fault myself for your demise or your soon to come downfall. Now, nothing left to do but take you to the curb where a garbage truck will arrive and muscled men will haul you into a devastation of metal jaws. Yes, Without appropriate ceremony during the shady middle of the night, I will carry you down flights to the slate sidewalk and abandon you. Then I'll return to my apartment, where the whiff of death on my hands won't be quite as potent as the ghost standing tall in the living room corner.
Beautiful. Wonderful.
And the next one, the next day. The morning after the candidate I'd supported was lanced by gladiators, I wobbled through hours, watered my slumped plants, wouldn't taste my breakfast. To escape the relentless news reports, incessant internet voices, drowning waves of radio broadcasts, I hoofed over to a movie theater. There I found comfort in surround sound, a screen offering a fantasy realm, and an actual world of velvet perfection. But the outing and the film didn't last forever. Meandering home, treading with melancholy, I couldn't avoid hearing fire and police sirens blaring across the city. My frown morphed into a smile as I experienced the clamor as urgent rather than mournful. Thanks. Oh, and see my message in the chat is about my play that's going to be performed on Monday, April 7th at 7 p.m. at Theater for the New City. But I put all the information in the chat. I hope you can make it. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. Okay, appreciate it, Austin. Okay, let's see who else. Okay, next up, we're gonna have Beth S.K. Morris, Kate. Is Elizabeth Morse here? No, I don't see her. Okay. Okay, a lot of people not here. Okay, so next up, we're gonna have Beth S.K. Morris. Please unmute and share.
One question, Patricia. May I read the poem that was accepted in the anthology, or it's
Yes.
just? Oh, I
Yes,
can.
thank you.
Okay. I need permission from the editor.
No, you don't have to.
Okay, this is from the book that I posted up front, the new book coming out called The Yellow Notebook. And it interweaves my father's writing and my own poetry. So it's going to begin very shortly with a notation from a letter about looking for a house. Landscaping. How much provided? Trees rest at natural soil level, no wells? How about fencing or shrubs lining the property? Are there storm sewers? Any heavy rain problems? Are foundations and walls waterproof? Dave's letter, 1976, and the poem is called The Stone Mason. Our bungalow was built on a hillside overlooking the lake. Each time it rained, the earth reclaimed our yard. Defying nature, gravity, and mudslides, my father set retaining walls, one wall at a time, digging for stones on the mountain, behind our house, flat ones for the foundation, round ones for the center, smooth stones for the top. Loading them onto his wheelbarrow, weaving over the rough trail he'd cut through the woods, down to the makeshift quarry on our lawn. I watched him pattern the stones across the grass, measure his flawless plumb lines, set his fortress of blue stones underneath. He was working on the third when they sold the house, putting an end to his artistry. Trowels, shovels, wheelbarrow, gone. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Beautiful poem.
Thank you. And thank you
That's
for
why I took
taking
it.
it, Patricia.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, let me see who's here. I sent out little messages to the others. Okay, Kate is next, and after Kate, we're gonna have I guess Cindy Hockman after Kate. Kate, unmute and share.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Hi.
Hi. So nice to be here with all my East Coast poets and writers. So we do have plenty in Colorado, but it's great to be home. I grew up in the New York, New Jersey area and left when I was about 20 to come to Colorado. My poem, Fox and the Soul of a Woman. Lone fox in my yard, stopped in its tracks, listening. Thoughts spelled out in code, no interruption. Night fox and a woman's soul each wait for the dawn, watching the clouds sail, listening in silence. Spring snowflakes fall gently, dark sky stars ascend, heaven sent. How will I know you, long memory now? Fox listened to my thoughts, stopped in its tracks. Keen listening, I spelled out my code. There was no interruption. A lovely song rang out under night's fading moonlight. A fox and the soul of a woman await the dawn. Long-lasting, ancient echoes resound, weaving change for the best outcome in the round.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Gorgeous poem. Thank you. Okay, let me read off who's here because a lot of people are not showing up. I think I mentioned Cindy Hockman being next, and then after Cindy, we're going to have Ron Combe. After Ron Combe, we're going to have Amy Barone, and then after Amy Barone, we're going to have Mona, and then Kathy Palermo. Okay? Take it away, Cindy Hockman.
Okay, I'm going to read two very short ones, and there are a lot of brevetarians here, so you've all seen this poem already, because it's the one I sent around last time. I think it's still relevant. Haiku. Chanel number 5 is infinitely sweeter than Eau de Musk. And the other one I wrote 5 minutes ago. It's also very short. 2 weeks ago, I had cataract surgery, but Donald Trump still looks freaking orange.
I love it. Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. I love it.
Cindy.
I literally wrote 2 minutes ago.
I love that. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Cindy. I know Karen's running late. She told me she's running late. So now we're going to have Ron Combe after Ron. We're going to have Amy Barone. Then after Amy is Mona. And then after Mona is Kathy. Okay? Take it away, Ron.
Great. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. Everyone's terrific. I have a new book that just came out from the Opiate called The Verities of Love. And Amy Barone was one of the blurbers. I'll read just one poem from it, but there is a longer version of this poem online. Rick Lupert's Poetry Superhighway made me one of the 2 poets of the week this week. So there's a longer version of this, the Poetry Superhighway Poets of the Week. Pushing buttons in Silicon Valley. I was trying to get the elevator to move, but I wasn't having much luck. I was hoping to meet Elon Musk and find out more about his warning that killer robots are more dangerous than Kim Jong-un. It finally kicks into gear and rumbles unsteadily up to the 13th floor, where I discover a diorama of speeding Tesla sedans. A little boy is standing in front of it staring, his mouth open. A guard comes around the corner and tries to shoo him away, but I plead with him to stop because I can clearly see the look of terror that's now etched on the young boy's face. Thank you so much, everyone.
Mhm.
Patricia, you're wonderful, and I love Brownstone
Thank
Poets.
you. Congratulations. Since Kim has to leave, Kim, you want to read next? Are you okay? Okay, because she has to leave earlier. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting us. Okay, next we have wonderful Ron. Congratulations. Next, we're going to have Amy Barone. And after Amy, we're going to have Mona and then Kathy, and then we're going to go into the features.
Thank you. I look forward to hearing my fellow Broadstone author features read. This is the title poem from a new manuscript I'm working on, Tree Songs. A quaking aspen dances in the breeze, rounded leaves shaking like castanets outside the Elk Museum, where we learn that the creature's velvety antlers nourish, protect, and act as a summer coolant. Purple and red huckleberries crop up in forests near Glacial National Park. We feast on the fruit and ice cream, cocktails, pies, and jam. Where trees need fire to thrive, where you can hear water gusts at Roaring Mountain a mile away. Grazing bison fuel the rainforest's temperate climate. Colors tantalize, Grand Prismatic Springs bright orange clay. Stark white steps and sienna terraces at Mammoth Hot Springs, where a big black rock juts out, the scene edged by sheltering forests. Ponderosa pine, western red cedar, paper birch, and larch trees dot Montana timber country. They conserve energy, clean air, feed birds, preserve ecosystems, add elements to life-saving drugs. Steam from geysers, mud pots, and thermophiles rise in a supravolcano from prehistoric times. When Canadian wolves were brought back to Yellowstone Park in '95, the river got bigger, songbirds returned, and berries grew wild. White spruces and cottonwoods crowded riverbanks, their subtle soundscapes sending catkins aflutter, trumpeting the region's stillness and splendor. Thank you.
I love it.
Fabulous, Amy, fabulous. Okay, next we have Mona. Mona, unmute and share. And at the Mona, we're going to end with Kathy this first round. And we're going to go into the features.
Thank
Mona,
you,
take it
Patricia.
away. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you all. I have a VNL for today that I just wrote today, and I might have to revise later, but this is it. My first VNL. Help me awaken to my heart's desire to come to know beyond all doubt, she who is water, he who is fire. Behind the misty glass, two eyes inquire, lights and shadows mingle in their gaze. Help me awaken to my heart's desire. Beyond illusions, dreams that never tire, in quest of sight that cuts the haze. Find her, the water, him, the fire. To see past shapes, all forms transpire, the apples ripe, yet bitter at the core. Help me awaken to my heart's desire. Help me learn, see inside the gripping ire, the cracking of the seeds that germinate in all. She who is water, he who is fire. To stretch my tendrils high and low, you hard soil, though moist and airy, you wise, help me awaken to my heart's desire, and know I am the water, and I am the fire. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mona. Next, okay, we're going to end with Kathy Palermo. Kathy, unmute and share. And and I'll go over the list for the next round. Okay, Kathy, unmute and share.
Oh, I thought I unmuted.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. I'm looking down in my book. Thank you.
We can hear you. It's good.
We
You
can
can
hear
hear
you.
me.
It's okay.
Okay,
I'm
good.
looking down my book. So
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, I actually have a fever today, and I wasn't going to read, but you talked me into it. No, I'm glad to be here. So, yeah. So fever is kind of like poems anyway, right? On my way to write poems at the Poetry Project. Riding in a bicycle taxi through Manhattan, a gleam of silver handles, wheel spokes. Sun, air in my hair, the city spinning, pushing me forward in my seat, cyclists pulling me in and out of traffic, the wind with me racing past cars, corner crosswalks where people wait. Someone shouts too close, my own life suddenly out of my hands, and theirs too for an instant. Changing lanes, I feel sorry, looking back while moving faster away like a space capsule, a satellite. I was a late bloomer, jumping into love quickly. Oh, those bicycle peddlers. This one from heaven appeared unexpectedly, the sun in his eyes like some strange saint, turning me around, bringing me out and away from myself.
wow. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing and hope you feel better. A lot of fevers going around here.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, now we're going to move on to the features. Just to let you know, each feature gets 15 minutes each. Okay, we're going to have the first two. That'll be Lynn McGee and Gerald Wagner. And then we're going to have a 15-minute break, right, Roxy? And then after that, we're going to come back with Hillary Sedaris and the rest of the open. I'll read who's on the rest of the open. Okay, we have, I don't know if Karen's coming back, but she may come. We have Harvey Sauce, Susan Murray, Linda Kleinbob, myself, and Roxanne, and whoever shows up. Okay, so I'm going to read for Lynn McGee. Lynn McGee is the author of the just released poetry collection, Science Says Yes, which looks at a planet reeling with unnatural disasters and a cackle of technology, a panoramic view offset by the pursuit of happiness and gratitude. Early collections include Tracks, Broadstone Books 2019, Sober Cooking, Spite and Dival Press 2016, and two award-winning poetry chapbooks, Heirloom Bulldog, Bright Hill Press, and Bonanza Slapping Hole Press. Lynn McGee and Jose Pelaz are co-authors of the children's book Starting Over in Sunset Park, Tilbury House Publishers in 2021. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Lynn McGee. Take it away.
Hi. So I hope you can hear me. I'm just going to read from the book. If you can see the book, Science Says Yes. I should put a link in the thing. I'll try
Hold it
to.
up again, Lynn. I'm sorry, I'm going to take the pictures. Hold up the book. Oh, wait. Put the focus on her.
I don't know how to. I'm
Okay,
doing the
here we go.
best I can.
There we go. Thank you.
That's the best I can do.
That's okay. Beautiful.
Okay. Happiness is for opportunists. I passed my second decapitated bird of the day, gray dove with a ragged red throat. Maybe she was sipping water trapped between paving squares on the sidewalk. A cat saw his opportunity and pounced. Opportunists live longer by their own design. When wolf populations are low, they mate with coyotes. When wolf populations are high, they kill coyotes. What's really holding you back? Oh, wait. While you think about that. Emotional AI is no substitute for empathy. So I wrote the poems and they were untitled. And then I did Google searches, free associating what felt like the themes in the poems. And that's how I found the titles. So the titles were added on later. And that was a very revealing and humbling process for me, because I would start on a search for some concept and then I would realize, no, it's really not about that. And it would kind of reveal itself to me. Emotional AI is no substitute for empathy. Jesus knew it wouldn't be viruses that would wipe us out, wildfires, or nuclear war. He knew it would be a lack of empathy and tried to guide us in the other direction. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Now, AI has been made in our image, and it lacks what we lack. Scientists say, give it sensors placed in the environment, vulnerable to forces it can't control. Teach it suffering is unacceptable in any solution set. AI thrives despite its flaws. It carries on like any monarch, any god dogged by unregulated lust, hubris, greed. And then there are the humans eaten by their children. This is, okay, differently alert, : a rapport with machines gives autistic adults an edge. He doesn't make eye contact, the nurse reports of my nephew, who is limp with sedation, lips slack, ventilator wheezing on his behalf, inflating his lungs in a rhythm both amiable and stern. He looks right past me, she says gently. He's probably unaware of his surroundings. We thank her, too polite to point out the monitor's appeal just behind her, neon green zigzagging across its screen. We don't bring to her attention the splendor of syringe pumps stacked in a tower, the elegant tangle of cables, polished elbows of pipe. My nephew, who took the door off the stove before he could walk, who faked seizures to score an ambulance ride and be rolled into that luminous cavern of tools, stares past the nurse at an alluring silver dial, a corrugated blue tube, and is unbothered at being part machine now himself, almost fitting in. Let's see. Okay. Bioluminescence can be ours. When the shark looks up, he sees stars. Taurus gores the night sky. Ursus ambles toward morning. A squid glides past, legs trailing in the cold sea, underside lit with radiant bacteria, the predators below, confused for constellations, rippling across the sky. Humans know better. We scrape microbes from the luminous bellies of cephalopods, harvest a gel that lights a street. We fill a syringe, inject leaves with the sparkling genetic dust of eels, and birds veer from a park's fabricated glow. We clap on fireflies and trap them flaming in jars, and sometimes, in our haste, snuff out the life, but not the light, of insects whose green neon smears up to our elbows. Even as children, we seize what shines. Did you do that? Catch, insects of all types and examine them throughout your entire childhood? I know a lot of you did. I can tell just by looking at you. Just kidding. Lethal weapons may have given early humans an edge over Neanderthals. I admit they have appeal, the accoutrements of hunting, the fur pouch, leather ties, kidney-shaped straw basket for fish, the bushcraft gear, the orange vest and windproof gloves with a slot for your trigger finger, the high-carbon stainless steel knife, objects worthy of the drive to overcome, to outsmart, to never go hungry or turn away from danger, to call the shots, to win. It's not all pretty being a human being, I just want to share that, in my opinion. Okay, I'm just going to read 2 more poems. This is a lighter poem. Today's witches share the powerful link between makeup and magic. Behind the beaten metal door and wavy mirror, on On the narrow, rusting shelves, I find invisible protection, a substance that rebuilds, restores, and refreshes my life. I find an invitation to take what I need and apply it daily, liberally. There are gentle reminders to wear a long-sleeved shirt, hat, and sunglasses, to check the quality seal and avoid inhalation. I avail myself of a proven strength system, an alpine breeze, instant sleek. I seize an infallible foundation. Okay. And this is the last poem I'm going to read. Why Women Are Key to Solving the Climate Crisis. I want a raven to land on the railing of my balcony while I'm stretched out on the chaise lounge drinking a pale ale. I want the raven to move its gaze up and down my body, and when it determines I am neither food nor foe, I want the raven to push off and unfurl its opulent black wings and instantly forget me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Fantastic. Now I'm going to bring on Gerald Wagner. Gerald Wagner's childhood was divided between Eastern Oregon and Montana, where he was raised under the doctrine of benign neglect. He earned a BA in creative writing from the University of Montana, Richard Hugh Poet in residence. After earning an MFA in sculpture from SUNY, Albany, Richard Stakanowitz, artist in residence, Gerald moved to Brooklyn, New York. Gerald exhibited regularly and taught art and English for the NYC Department of Education. His experiences from teaching poetry in high school, English rekindled his desire to devote himself to the art of writing poetry. His recent books, A Month of Someday in Dolan Books, and his most recent collection, When Nothing Wild Remains, Brownstone Books. He's currently curates and hosts the series, A Persistence of Cards, by the Gowanus Canal in Brooklyn, New York. I can hardly wait till that starts up. I love that reading. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Gerald Wagner.
Thank you, Patricia. And thank you, Roxanne. Am I properly unmuted?
You are fine, sir.
Oh, good.
Get
Good.
away. We want to hear you.
Yeah, well, I had some things selected and then I went for a walk before the reading, and it is so nice outside. So I pulled out some different ones and just start now. Brooklyn Pian. The in-between time, liminal. The linden still branch naked. Ephemeral blossoms have burst into bloom. You tell me I write this poem every year. Well, it's the only first time tongue pink and white stars erupt. Why not a tree poem? A standing ovation to the buds bursting, puffing out their flowering whiteness. An ovation to the sprig of the weeping cherry tree, embraced in the allure of gravity. An ovation to these blood orange tulips, so brilliant they blur my vision. Late March with Monet. This was last year. Winter has returned with a cold snap of the fingers. Again, parka, knit cap, and gloves. Monet painted all of his winter landscapes on site. He would wear 3 overcoats, 3 pairs of gloves, and schlep 20 to 25 unfinished canvases, plus brushes and paints and easels. Monet did this in solitude. Snow and light whisper to the patient listener. Weight and haystacks demonstrate the art of being ablaze. Cathedrals trade stone for shimmer. Weight and the world explains how it is that color is light with a slender cherry tree. Its petite buds, fresh split. Its wee petals forming white flowers with centers so pink, so primal, they giggle in the wind to show that it is the light, not the heat, that draws them out. And then a few that have been picked up over 2024. 1959, 7th grade. In the Great Falls Emporium, I cajoled my folks into buying me a pair of red suede shoes. I wore them with a chip on my shoulder to hear you say, red shoes are for girls. I wore mine with a red attitude short sleeve shirt. No yellows, no blues, no blues. I ain't never gonna wear no blue suede shoes. Only girls wear red shoes. Got black slacks, Jack. Got a gray city hat. Got my dark sunglasses. Be a punk. Take my dare. Red suede shoes, wear a pair. Oh, yes. This is a Pantoum from a while back. If it's not understanding, I've looked at a lot of different cultures, origins of the moon, and what that shadow up there means. So I'm just riffing on that, basically. When the moon rose, two elementary school boys passed me. I'm sure I heard the younger one say that the moon has no access to an axis. So the dark side is the face you never know. I'm sure that I heard the other one say the shape is a rabbit forming rice balls. The dark side is the face you never show. Mother touched moon daughter's cheek. The shape is shadow, is rabbit, is rice ball. When moon rose out of ocean, star lifted, mother touched shadow daughter's cheek. The abyss of loss wears unknown faces. When moon rose out of ocean, star lifted, rabbit was shadow. A thief over his bag of filched orbits and axes fixed, daughter with her dark side forever fused to the sky. Rabbit was shadow. A thief in his bag, he marooned the moon. No access to an axis, her dark side forever fused to soot black sky. Two schoolboys passed me, inventing why. Amy, this is your Glacier Park poem. Iceberg Lake, Glacier National Park, revisited. My restless adolescent son refuses to hang out on this lush alpine meadow, declines to count clouds with me, cares not for fair skies never last. As a teen, I backpacked one hot August day with a church group up steep mountain trails from our camp's deep valley lake to a carved tunnel through an arete, to be confronted by black clouds, sleet, and bitter wind that snapped the tarps we bound around ourselves until dawn. All this where he now stands. And Dad's so what story? Lost in a rock hard deep past, tectonic subduction, overthrust fault, all shale and limestone, none of it basalt. Nemesis. Dear woman was born in a coal spruce forest baying at a sliver of silver moon. She was summoned to the altar of fire by wolves for her iron black temper. After redress, she dances in shadow, wears 2 scarves that love her throat. When sultry drums stop, she vanishes, reappears in a abaya, swaying in Algeria, struck by bright white, all starlight beside the rubble of an ancient aqueduct. She once wrote an egret. Its mate glided in, wings wide, and took up the hunt. Drawn by the sun, dear woman, sister of sky and breeze, is patient as she weaves, as she crafts her retribution upon those men who are cruel to women, are cruel to children. After, she sways in the shadows to sultry drums. She plays the saxophone to mock their broken moans. This is a poem in which I use a lot of dactyls, knuckle bones. There are osteo enigmas regarding dactyls that I cannot quite put my finger on. Why are some gestures so expressive that to tackle an elephant seems obscene? My promises to follow paleodactyl evidence and lost phenomenon find me hunkered, quavering in a defensive posture, murmuring nervously under a shadow of dactyls, rabid and ravenous. Their thin, glyptic lips snick jealously. Their skin shimmers like cicada wings in a lifting mist. They might be proof that all 600 fell finally, each one deconstructed particle by particle. This line dips, I let it slip. It declines until what is broken inside rattles as it tumbles finally down. The glint of what might be the thing I think I need. Gowanus. Oh, Ron likes this poem a lot. Gowanus. Brooklyn's skyline is a dark, indistinct broom with snow soon. Another empty, rusted warehouse opposite this side of the canal, useful last month, awaits demolition. Low old buildings on both sides of the Gowanus are being leveled. More glass high-rises will go up. Young people, couples with bright eyes will move in. Tonight, the lone man who dragged his clacking travel bag along the canal's new esplanade will never know what his abrupt clatter disrupted. Will never know. A heron opened broad, dark wings, rose in silence to assume the night. How is my time?
You're good. You're doing good.
All right, keep
Yeah,
going.
another 4 minutes. 4
Another
minutes.
4 minutes. Okay. All right. So, this one, a brief history of my first marriage. Strangely enough, I thought when I was submitting, I was submitting to Bangor, Maine, and it was published in Bangalore, India. But wow, I got a lot more readers in Bangalore in India. A brief history of my first marriage. Chinook, snow eater, blustered and gusted from dawn on. Big rock concert scheduled on campus. A Missoula band back from the Bay Area bearing towers of amps and speakers. Free acid all night. Free acid. Towering stacks of amps and speakers surround all around by sound. Slot car riffs, organic crescendos. We dance, sweat, shout, dance, bright black light, strobe, throb, strobe, bomb, a paramecium. I float blue-hued bioluminescent among jellyfish. Pulse flash, tangerine. Swim in strobes, spin in prisms dazzling days. Chinook the snow eater drools, electric lavender shimmers down his scaly silver cheeks. Acid dilation, strobe punch, red green, aquamarine. Pulse slap, vessels visible in my wide angle eyes. Pulse slap maps veins in my flooded brain. I see myself twice, like in a movie. After. From the bridge, she and I bellow, Chinook, snow eater, crack the Clark Forks ice river, tumble your frozen mantle, make ragged, angry slabs, jagged edge, rigid plates that scrape, fall, fracture, then sprawl, splayed across bladed shelves. After. Together, in our warm bed, we marvel at the breathing web of iridescent beads glimmering on invisible cosmic strings. While fucking, we both leave our bodies, drift into a rainbow astral plane to become one, welded in love to emerge as a single entity, two as one forever. Wait! I am the steely salmon smolt. I must turn to the current and grow downstream in wilder and deeper waters. By mid-afternoon, a mass of sub-zero Arctic air had bullied down the Rockies to engulf the region. Winds out of the Hellgate froze the split ice, restitched the rugged flow. The river, as before, carried on below. And I'm just going to finish with a short one. This is kind of a new manuscript. It is 100 poems written consecutively in 100 days. And this is the final poem. There are pleas to Greek muses. Hymnia was the muse of sacred music, hence we get the word hymn. Vespers. Divine Hymnia, teach me a song for the poor in spirit, a song for we, the huddled, the curled, the despised in dry doorways, we who drag our rags across 4 lanes like kings, we, the furtive, the limping, the gaunt, the drained, the depleted, the hollow, we who come each night to stand in your gardens, wait for your love. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Hi. Okay, just to let everybody know, we're going to go on a 50-minute break. And when Roxy comes back, we're going to have the third feature, Hilary Sedaris. And we're going to have the rest of the open. I see Jack is in the house, Jack Cooper. I also see Karen Newberg is here. We're going to have also Harvey Sauce, Phil Linz, Susan Murray, Josephine Leray, she's here, yay. Linda Kleinbob, myself, and Roxanne.
Yes.
Okay, so
Sorry, Patty.
Monsieur.
Yeah, I just realized that the time had not changed here until tomorrow night. So
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, welcome.
Anyway, my apologies to all.
That's okay. Now we're on a break and enjoy, schmooze, mute everybody and just enjoy, or go for a cup of coffee, make a little sandwich. We'll be back in about, let's see what the time is now. We'll be back around 3:20. Roxy? We'll be back around 3:20. Okay. Talk to you later.
Hey, Roxanne.
Hi.
How you doing, friend?
I'm doing well, hanging in there. I got back-to-back poetry tonight. I think it'll start at 4 o'clock. They're having the inaugural Hudson County Poetry Festival in Union
Wow.
City. Yeah, yeah. So a couple of my guys are going to read at 8:30. So I'm going to take a little nap and then head out there after the reading. More poetry.
Creating your own AWP, are you?
I feel like it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, Jack, how are you?
Hey. A bit flummoxed at the moment. It's like, coming in the midst of things.
Yeah, so is it like 9 o'clock there?
No, it's yes. No, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
I
Okay,
mean,
so
ordinarily,
it's only a 5 hour
ordinarily we would
difference
begin at
now.
8 o'clock here, but the time
Okay,
doesn't change until tonight.
okay.
So as I say, I'm sorry to have stumbled in. I feel like I'm.
I tried to call you this morning to remind you about the time.
You know, I think I was asleep.
Yeah, yeah, must have been. Yeah. I
Yeah.
finally made it through Dr. No.
Excellent.
And it's
Excellent.
yeah. I just kind of like the way he's now kind of like he just lets like the stories hang like at some spot. Like it's not like it just like to be continued.
Hmm. Hmm. Yes, I answered an email today from someone who adds 007 to his name.
Oh, who is that, I wonder?
My nephew-in-law, Michael Milton.
He's now 007. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
We should send him the poems.
Yeah, I know, and I forgot to ask him about it.
Yeah, and then the link to the book so he can read them. Yeah, because they're all available. I don't know for how long, but they're all available.
Hmm. Yes.
I think Goldfinger is next. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of
I don't know what the.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with the franchise, Roxanne and Jack, once it's in the hands of Disney? Can't believe it.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. It should be cool. Yeah. Well, I'm not doing the movies because, the movies becomes a whole kind of thing,
Another genre, yeah.
Well, it's also like intellectual property thing. Like you can't even use any of the ideas that are in the movies that are not in the books. So
Wow.
my stuff is all based now on the Ian Fleming books. Because they're already in public domain in a lot of countries. They'll be in public domain in like 10 years. But I can use any idea that's in there freely. But if you try to do that for the movies, they'll come after you. I don't want to be in that situation. I haven't read these books. I think the last time I read them, I was like 11. So it's really kind of, cool to reread them and not really, I was a very different person at 11. You forget, some of me is the same, but certain things are different. So I think I was smarter at 11. I don't know how to explain that, but I just
You're
feel
darn right. I was reading Nancy Drew at 11.
Yeah, remember?
I'm not Dr. No. You were way ahead of the group.
Well, my dad got me into it because he was actually, I think the books came out, they started coming out in the early 50s. He was born in 55. And my dad started reading them to me because he was, he didn't care. Whatever he was reading, that's what I heard when I was in the crib. So I was already like in love with James Bond at the age of 2. It was either Jack Frost, Peter Pan, or James Bond. So, and then he eventually like passed the books down to me. And I think they became available like in paperback when I was in 10 or 11. So at some point I got them all and just like reread them, some of the stuff which I had remembered really well. And at that point, I guess the films started to come out. So I had, I got to see the movies too. Just a total.
Jack Frost and James Bond. I mean, I don't know if I can even put the two of those together in a sentence.
Yeah, I'm writing sonnets based on the 14. I was thinking I was going to do 14 sonnets, 14 lines, 14 sonnets for the 14 books, but it's really hard to compress those novels into 14 lines, So it's going to be probably like 2 or 3 sonnets per book.
Well, I'm still working on my Zane Grey. Five and dime store.
Yeah.
We're saved up for.
What I do with the horror comics I hid under my bed.
They make more now.
Oh yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God. Yeah, my sister was a big Archie fan. I think she had
that too.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Archie.
Archie comics.
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole other thing to riff.
Hey, did anybody ever look past Veronica? I know I didn't.
Poor Betty.
don't
Poor
neglect Betty.
Yeah, poor Betty.
Well, there was Betty. There was Betty.
Yeah.
Or as we like to call it, a threesome.
I felt a particular.
What's happened? I just came back. I was in the kitchen.
Oh, we're talking about the old comics. Archie.
I felt a particular
with
tie to
Veronica
Betty because
and
her
Betty.
last name was Cooper.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot that the last name was Cooper.
Yeah.
Betty's last name was Cooper?
Yes.
So what was Veronica's last name? I only knew him by first
I
name.
don't remember that.
She had some kind of fancy Van something name. She had something fancy, I remember, but I can't. I'm going to have to now look it up.
Remember
on
her
Google.
father's mustache.
Okay, so
Veronica Lodge.
Yes, of course,
LODGE.
Veronica Lodge. Yes,
Oh,
right.
of course, yeah. I knew it was something fancy.
Yeah, that
And
was a very
what was Archie's last name?
Andrews.
Archie Andrews. Okay.
Really?
Yeah. And then there was,
Lodge was a very Brahmin name at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I was almost named after Jughead, but
Well, that's who I identified with, Harvey.
Yeah.
I was a jughead. Still am, probably.
Oh, Jughead.
Yeah.
Roxy, should we start now?
No, we need 2 more minutes.
Two more minutes, okay, because I just
gotta give
saw
people
Linda
at least
Kleinberg
a
has
10
to leave a little earlier, so I'm gonna have her read before Hillary, just to make sure she gets in.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let me just see, because Austin, I just see his chair, and Phil Lentz, I think.
I just saw Phil Lentz's
chair.
face.
Yeah. So not everybody's back because
Right.
the videos are all off.
Yeah. So, she has to leave a little early, so when we go back on, I'm gonna have Linda read, do a 3-minute thing, and then bring on Hillary, and then have the rest of the open.
Okay. All right, we got another minute.
Yeah.
time enough for a full comic book series.
Exactly.
Except for little Lulu.
Oh yeah, little Lulu. I actually had a little Lulu doll.
Mm.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
And does anyone remember Jigs?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved Jigs.
Did it, by the way, with a candlestick.
Did it? Yeah. I thought it would have been with his spat.
Whap them back and forth with spats, I guess.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, it's 3:20. I don't know
Okay.
if it's I think people are coming back, so
I'm back.
I don't see Austin.
yeah, I don't see Austin, but Phil is back. Okay. Well, maybe if we start, he'll hear it.
Yeah. Okay, Linda, do you want to start? Okay, and we'll unmute and share, and then we'll go on to Hillary.
I just want to thank Patty and everybody involved, and this is a dedication to do this every week. And I know I don't get here very often, but I was home today, so I made it a point to try to be here. And I'm really grateful you giving me a chance to read. I have 3 short poems. My mother-in-law is 95 and a half, and she's in a nursing home with Alzheimer's right now, so she's been on my mind. So the first one is in my book, Appear to Dance. It's called The World is on Lockdown. We are sheltering in place. Grandma Bridie is now 90. She lives alone, baking Irish soda bread and chocolate chip cookies. Before the virus, we shopped in supermarkets. We gathered together without fear. Now we are told to stay home. But when you live alone, especially in your senior years, isolation becomes an ugly monster. Without technology, no Facebook, no Instagram, no TikTok to view, no Zoom conferencing to connect you. The isolation monster feeds on loneliness. Crawling out of the TV at night, he begins to gnaw on Grandma. The family that comforts her is told to avoid her. She finds it hard to understand why. A frightened child calls out in the night, I'm out in the rain. Where are you? And this one is called Unexpected House Guests. We take Bridie to the doctor. She knows the correct date and year, complains about her achy back. X-rays and blood work are ordered. An appointment with the neurologist awaits in the near future. I'll call it progress. Hope she has a peaceful night, that the voices in her head stay silent and do not materialize as company on the couch tonight. And this one is very, very new. It's called Thursday. Visit Bridie pre-lunch. She's sleeping. She wakes gently in a daze as her tray is served. I can't do it, Linda, she repeats. I feed her mashed sweet potatoes, broccoli, roast pork, and matzo ball soup. New York One News plays in the day room. An aide named Shelley remarks in a Jamaican accent, look at this crazy man Trump, all the trouble he's causing. Bridie, you're lucky. Trump is ruining America, and you don't have to witness it. I respond to Shelley, it's difficult taking care of Bridie, but at least I'm not watching the news all day. Grateful for distractions of work. Emails call my attention, a manuscript to edit, a syllabus to plan. Purple crocuses bloom in my garden. Grateful nature doesn't play politics. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Welcome aboard. Okay, now we're going to move on to the features. Last feature, Hillary Sedaris, and we're going to end with the rest of the open. Thank you. Okay, Hillary Sedaris is the author of Un Amor Veloce, The Silent Bee, Animals in English, and Liberty Laundry. Her new collection, Calliope, is out from Brownstone Books. She has published in Poetry Daily, Poetry Northwest, Broom Salamander, and more recently in Anti-Heroin Chic on One Art, north of Oxford, Whitehead Poetry, and Rhino. Sedaris grew up in Indiana and fled to Brooklyn. She's a co-founder and curriculum developer for CUNY START, a program for underprepared, limited income students at City University of New York. Let's give a warm Brownstone welcome to Hillary Sedaris. Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Sorry, I was late. I think I'm the last reader feature because I was late, but so sorry about that. I put the book in the chat. I think that worked. Yeah, so I'm going to be reading from Calliope, the name of my grandmother who came from the island of Chios in Greece, and a bunch of the poems are in the book are name poems, especially in the first part of the book. So I'll read some name poems to start. Did that work? Did I put that in the chat?
I think so.
Okay, great. Okay. So, and thank you for being here. This is lovely. So this is Margaret for my sister-in-law, Meg Sedaris. When Italy was unified, the Savoy Queen inspired La Margherita pizza. Red, white, green, newfangled like the flag. In my big fat Greek wedding, mortifying mothers dance and sing of Palikaria, men who bring home calamaria, margaritaria, fruit and jewels from the sea, which explains why, when I tell my brother's bride her name means Daisy, she says pearl. This is Claude. When I spilled milk or dropped my fork, Dad called me Clod, from the Old English clod, a clump of earth, mound, mass, meaning chump or dunce. I spelled poorly and heard Claude, a boy I liked who got held back and whacked at school, whose name I wrote in my notebooks. Claude means cripple, I later read, a lame attempt perhaps to appease God in times when children often died. I had a heavy crush on lanky Claude, his broad hillbilly vowels when he kidded, "Hey, Hill, working hard, hardly working," as I wiped down the sticky Dairy Queen counter he dropped $1 on. This is the baby Jesus. Mom's still a sucker for Christmas. She counts on it and us to disappoint. It's February in Florida. The polyvinyl tree abides. Her friend Frances, too frail to fly, FaceTimes to see these ornaments: rubber, Maine lobster, ceramic Empire State, blown glass, starry night. Each year, the baby Jesus gives Mom strength to decorate. She loves babies. Alexis and I are down from different states, leaving on a jet plane in our heads, although we hate the song and all the questions it raises, the ones we asked at 7 and 9, warriors that we were. Why doesn't John Denver know when he'll be back? Why will he wear her ring, not bring it in a fancy box? I've never told you this, Mom prefaces Dad's possible gayness, which would explain the choice of white for his casket, a theory we've heard since we were old enough to be her audience. I later learned that that's a Vietnam War song. That's why he doesn't know when he'll be back. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, trigger finger. I think we've had a lot of fingers in this reading and a lot of dactyls and some trigger fingers. 1,000 miles apart, unable to bend the middle fingers of our right hands. My sister and I wake at night. Friendly, not friends. We send each other remedies, symptoms, turmeric tea, mood swings. We're close, but unable to bend. What is it triggered by? I text, not touching firearms, which she owns. Days later, she replies, "It's just called that. Sorry, working today." Cal is another name, Cal. We 4 old children conference call from Santa Barbara, Brooklyn, Washington, Wausau, about our mom's new friend, Caldwell, who goes by Cal, and other tall, strong men who don't exist and never knock, but walk right in, then disappear with her diamonds.
This is heaven. The dead too fall for scams, get DUIs on roads that loop through rotaries, lose games of chance in luxury villas that can't be found by satellites. Mom drives the Rolls Royce of golf carts. Her license never expires. Even in death, a surfer dude appears on the shoulder. He says, she's easy on the eye, flashes a mouthful of real teeth. No implants in the afterlife, no hearing aids. Brown butter in her copper pan never blackens, burns. What is the lesson God wants her to learn? She doesn't love these gauzy clouds, misses the minerally earth, the kind of leaves that bruise and fall, that first Midwestern forsythia burst. I'm going to read two more poems. These are newer, post-election. Man's world. A handsome man heckles a friend and me, dining outdoors in Brooklyn Heights. He calls us grannies, says Kamala Harris is the type to declare war when she gets her period. We're white, he's black. We don't respond. He doesn't leave. The waiter ushers us inside, where a band plays James Brown's It's a Man's World. I'm sleeping at Dave's place across the street from mine while Dave's in Spain. If I wanted, I could stand at Dave's front window, watch Vincenzo in our love seat, watching Roma Lazio. Pigeons roost on Dave's AC. Their liquid sounds wash through the pain. I drink Amarone, which means bitter in a big way. I told Vincenzo I was done. He said, "Tu non sei una ragazzina." I'm no spring chicken. And this is the last one, Gulf of America, Valentine's Day, 2025. Every breath you take, that massive Muzak hit of stalked romance wafts from the elevator speakers at the Marriott. My ex takes his Italian man time moving out. Males of all ages armed with roses, chocolates push in, looking late, contrite. Oh, how they fall in line on Valentine's. I'll be watching you. There is no word for stock in Italian. Google renames the Gulf. I prefer Golfo de Mexico, even if Golfo's only one O away from golf, a game I hate. Italian goffo means goofy, clumsy, maladroit. In the Foxed lobby, our leader's face pulsates, fat heart, gushing the words, "Be mine." Thank you.
You have a few minutes left.
That's okay.
Okay, no problem. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, we're gonna move on. We have like about 7 people left on the open. We're done. Okay, just a reminder that next reading will be on April 26th with Maria Lacella, Mike Jakovic, and Ann Wallace. These are poet laureates. So that'll be on a Saturday, April 26th. Happy Poetry Month. Okay, I'm gonna read who needs it. Okay, Jack Cooper, you want to read? We have Karen. Karen, do you want to read? Karen Newberg, do you want to read?
No, I'm not going to read. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let me just take you off.
I
the
will,
list.
Patty.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through the list. Harvey wants to read, I know. Phil Linz, you want to read? Susan Murray want to read? Josephine LeRae want to read?
Yes,
I
thank you.
guess so. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, we got 3 minutes. Okay, Jack Cooper, unmute and share.
I'm unmuted.
Go ahead, share,
Uh,
monsieur.
Okay, this is a poem called Luster. Again, through spring, night returns, embraced like no other. Greeting, meaning to have you live. Let's infuses enthusiasm, exuberance, less pleasant than youth alone. Commencement of things, a song in love heard, striving for melody, far off or close behind, a voice known only to the past, diamonded, romancing, intangible, mallard, high overhead, unseen, and looking for north. Okay, thank you, thank you. And this is called Silent Spring. I saw you in a dream last night. You had wheels, and you whirled. The jet of golden hair then sprang upward from your head. All I recognized, the shoes, had lain so many times on my floor. Patty, do I have time for another?
It's a short one. Thank you.
Oh, it is short.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's called, it's actually what, when I came in on Gerald, I thought of this. It's called, wait, I've lost it. Damn it. Okay. It's called Penance. Shit, wait. I'm sorry. Yes, Penance. When I think of you, the sky opens. Its legs enfold my mind. Dreams interweave. You entered. My body granted wings. Soul flight. To me, you hold the finality of things. Promise of endless reward. For death must have your shape. So in love with life in you, I could forgive my own. That's it. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. Okay, next up we have the one and only Harvey Sauce. Take it away, sir.
Will do. I have 2 poems, and also I've posted in the chat an invitation to tomorrow afternoon's Artful Dodgers Poetry open mic with the links. Let's see. First one is called Modesto's Knitting Circle. During World Wars I and II in the Korean dust-up, they would send mittens to our boys, courtesy of the Modesto Coven. Of such softness and quality, government procurement agencies might justly be accused of prolonging conflicts in order to obtain more woolly accessories. After Hurricane Katrina, with its breaching of levees, the Army Corps of Engineers, hands half frozen from plugging dikes, found warmth in these ladies' gifts. Shared with aid workers tasked with beating back a tide of homelessness, the sudden impact of New Orleanian too cool jazz seemingly gentled by woolen gauntlets. Recipients have been known to compare the experience to stroking kittens, others to incomparable sex. Modesto's trippy den mothers, needles kept within easy reach like sticks of heroin addicts, always ecumenical in their approach, one moment knitting black and yellow bee-striped sweaters, and the next, don't tread on me, needle points, for survivalists. Of course, in the absence of any newsworthy catastrophe demanding of their skills, a rare occurrence in California's Central Valley with its mudslides, fires, and floods, each grounds for a knit and pearl. They also churn out magical hats, scarves, and booties pending the arrival of those walnut-sized nieces and nephews foretold of by psychical sonograms, along with the odd shawl for unregenerate hippies living in their vans, colors known only to those who invent new names for them. Temporarily blue, anyone lie curled at their feet, balls of yarn waiting to be fashioned into this or that maxim, some accepted principle of conduct or aphorism stretched over a wooden frame to be hung above the bed, such as keep it simple, stupid, which generally they did. And this is one that I just found. I didn't even realize I'd written it, who knows when. It's called Talk Dirty to Me. And the views expressed are not necessarily my own. My king of the jungle swinging days are over, my roar reduced to the mewling of a cub. Now when I drag my bad self belly to bed, it's telesex that helps me raise a chub. Abort, abort that pregnant pause. I swear I simply can't afford it anymore. Time's the enemy when phoning up a phone whore. I haven't enough moolah for extended foreplay. I keep several paid by the minute lovers on speed dial, a wireless and wet wipes under the covers. Each month I pay the telephone company a surcharge for calling features should I want a three-way. I dial up Goldilocks at something 666. I'm certain I'll go straight to hell for what I'm thinking of ordering in when fundamentalist preachers ring the dinner bell. It seems 1,001 nights ago that I added Scheherazade to my favorites, loquacious handmaiden to a princess phone. She lowers her voice for more intimate connection. Who knew conversation could be this much fun? I say, hey girl, let's give it a whirl. Walk me through it. Talk me through it. Talk dirty to me. My ears diverge and eyes can take it. Whisper me what you're wearing. Moan me how bad you are. My cherie, your every touch tone pumps digitalis to my heart. I want to jump your bones, but the receiver won't let me. A fair exchange, your digits for my credit card. Tell me again how I'm the best phone sex you've ever had. Thank you.
Thank you, Harvey. Best phone sex ever. That's really. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Harvey is next, and after Harvey, we're gonna have Phil Linz. We already did Harvey. Sorry. Okay, Phil Linz is next, and after Phil Linz, we're gonna have Susan Murray, Josephine LeRae, myself, and Roxanne. Phil, unmute and share. It's good to see you back again. And I'll see you tomorrow, Harvey.
Thank you. Okay. This is called Work Song. It's one reason why I'm no longer employed at EMD Chemicals. And the title comes from the Cannibal Adderley song called Work Song. I really didn't want to come into work today, really didn't. It hit me hard in the parking lot after driving into work while I was parking the car, moving very slowly. There was a Zac Brown song on the country station. I didn't want to turn it off just yet. The chorus had something to do with I ain't in a hurry today, and I want to be there with the band, relaxed, smiling. I sure as hell didn't want to take my water bottle and briefcase and walk to the elevator and flash my card at the black plastic electronic doohickey that'll beep and unlock the glass door. But I did just that. And my boss was frowning because she'd gotten an email from her boss at the meeting in Europe, and suddenly the project was do it when you can we get the data out today? And Phil, can you do this real fast and dirty and get the information out to her today? I'd wanted to tell her I'd planned to prepare for next week's meeting or go back to that presentation she'd shown me yesterday and give her my thoughts and comments and suggestions, though I really don't think she wanted to hear them based on our last conversation on the subject. But no, today was the day of testing new pigments and nail polish. comparing the new with the standard, and I did it, and I emailed out both data and opinion. Finished. And I know I'm luckier than most, not much heavy lifting here. Management bought pizza for us today. They pay us for this. There was even an email about the promise of a bonus down the line, but I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm frustrated, and it's only Tuesday. It's only freaking Tuesday. Work song. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome back. Good to hear you again. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Next up, we have Susan Murray. And after Susan, we're going to have Josephine LeRae, Mitty, and Roxy. Take it away.
Okay. Good afternoon. This haiku appeared in the March issue of Sense and Sensibility. On a branch above, the hawk drops a feather, a gift caught in hand. That's it.
Very good.
No more? No more poems? Oh, that's it?
That's it. Sorry, I'm turning off and on here. No,
Okay,
that's all. Just a little
choice.
haiku.
Great. Thank you. Thank you for the shout out. Okay, I'll be posting it next week for the April issue. So be on the lookout. Okay. Susan Murray, did you read? Yeah, she read it. Yeah. Josephine LeRae.
Thank you. Oh, and if I seem distracted, it's snowing quite heavily, and there's
Oh my God.
yeah, there's magpies landing in the spruce outside my window. So that's that. I'd like to acknowledge that I live in Calgary, Canada, which is the ancestral traditional lands of a number of Indigenous peoples. Piikani, Tsuut'ina, Nakota, Kainai, and Siksika. And I want to thank them for having brought culture, language, and poetry to this land. I've a longer piece and then two shortish pieces. And this follows on Hilary's poems about her mum. Briefly Gorgeous. Briefly Gorgeous is the name of a collection by Ocean Vuong, and I used a line from his poem to start me off. That your name is only the sound of clocks being set back another hour. Briefly Gorgeous, the second hand, the minute, the hour revolving counterclockwise as we rush to reunite with our past, our ancestors reverting, as it were. Dementia is like being 4 again, I was told, but I disagree. 4-year-olds can learn, will not touch the hot stove again, will not try to go down the stairs with a laundry basket in their hands, unable to hold on to the railing, unable to remember to hold on to the railing, unable to remember that they have fallen, that they are on blood thinners, that one more fall could land them on their back with a broken hip or worse, and that they should brush their teeth for more than 11 seconds, that the only tube left in their bathroom drawer is toothpaste, so they don't put polysporin on their brush or Voltaren, and that the faces in the photo album don't show only the living, but also those who have died. Who have died. Died is a verb in the present progressive tense when your beloved mother is in the talons of this progressive, present, regressive disease, and the only thing you can do is keep her safe. Keep her safe and love her and let her know you love her, and keep her safe even at night when she wakes up to go pee and you squeeze your eyes shut, heart clenched, and you hope she makes it back to bed without falling, for it was only a year ago, only a year, that your father fell and you weren't there, but he fell and then the brain bleed and then he died. So you start to breathe again, shallowly at first, when you hear her get back into her bed and hear her talk in that high-pitched, wordless voice she saves for night. She saves for talking to her dad. That's the first piece, and I just wanted to show you how it evolves on the page. Go that way with it. Okay. And the next two are in the same vein. Kaleidoscope. Brilliant bursts of broken, sapphire, emerald, amethyst, lapis lazuli, aquamarine, amber, jade, ruby, topaz, each quarter turn reconfiguring, realigning, revealing the brilliant bits of my mother's broken mind. And the third one is, again, a true story. My mother is speaking to my father.
Mm.
She speaks to him in her sleep, a love-drugged little voice that has retracted its barbs, its stabs, no longer demanding queen of her own destiny. Time has eroded all their petty arguments, the clawed words that hurt me more perhaps than they hurt him, for he loved her despite. His words ringing in my head. Where's your mother? Take care of your mother. Just last week when I called was the first time she forgot he is dead. She told me she is preparing to go home, that she is waiting for him, that he promised it wouldn't be long, that he would help her. I know it is true.
Mm.
Thank you very much.
This is gorgeous. It takes me back when my mom was. Oh. Thank you for sharing, Josephine.
Thank you.
And I guess everybody else who wants to read, let me know now. And looks like I'm up. And then after I read, it'll be Roxanne. 2 new poems. This first one is taken from Vicento. I learned at Women's Writers in Bloom, that workshop J.P. Howard runs. And I did my first cento from numerous poems like Sharon Odes, Diana De Prima, Lucille Clifton, Jamaica Kincaid, T.C. Ella Jaji, Jennifer Chang, Dorothea Lesky, Tori Delicate, and Juliette Cono. So these are lines for their poems. I have never done it. I have never done it. I have been very careful. I won't promise this gutted globe. I wish them a strange town and the last tampon. This is how to throw back a fish you don't like. This is how to make ends meet. My sleep floats within a listening. Who can say you do not know how to throw your voice into the air? What woke to war in me all these years? Behind me is the forest. Before me is the field, a loose run of grass, and the blood ran down my legs, the parasitic closing on our thumbprint. We were smudged in a yellow book, like a mother who puts white lilies on the headstone of a dead child. This last one, Beautiful Bones, was taken from an actual dream, where the first line of the poem, a woman was speaking to me. I was looking at this Victorian house that kept getting more and more dilapidated, and she kept this narrator in the dream kept saying she had beautiful bones. So here's the dream. Here's the dream that became a poem. Beautiful bones. She had beautiful bones, graceful curves from another time. But the years didn't treat her well. Season after season, she stood like a grande dame, witnessed the birth of another century, not for better, but for worse. Weeds grew around her. Poverty infected her. Like an incurable disease, it jumped from house to house, spreading its anxiety and despair. Even the strongest weren't immune. The weather grew grayer and colder. Her sturdy roof weakened, couldn't keep fighting the storms. Her window panes surrendered to leaks. Her swollen ceilings broke down and cried. As water trickled down her walls, her beautiful bones became brittle. The chill inside worsened, and the marble fireplace too tired to comfort her aging owner. Abandonment moved in. Her beautiful bones held on to her curves. She watched greed invite gentrification. They built a green fence around her. They came for her neighbors as well. No remorse for the happiness that created her foundation and earliest memories. Her shabby doors, faded shingles, and broken window frames were dismantled, tossed as trash. Even in death, amid the dust and rubble, her bones were still beautiful. A plain brick box is being built on her unmarked grave. Her beautiful bones now rest in landfill. And now I'm going to bring on Roxy to end the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Patricia. It's been a wonderful reading. I gotta say, I just love this event. Let me just find my poem. I'm gonna read one of the last ones from my Hitchcock series, and then I'm gonna read something, the first poem from the new James Bond series. So the Hitchcock, I just remind you, they're all Abecedarians, and this one is called A Reckoning After Jamaica Inn, Hitchcock, 1939. A reckoning. Across black crystal waves, a beam of light cascades, calling, but dims as your deck disappears and everything familiar is engulfed by shadow. Fear grows to hysteria as an invisible army jumps your crew, knocks knives from helpless hands, leaving no man alive to tell of this night, obscene with plunder and pillage, queasy from reek and running, you wretch. Struck from behind, you tumble into the sea, unable to ascend vertical columns of water, the locals greeting hardly Xenodokial, yet close by, a young girl arrives to tip the scales of justice from 0 to 100. And the new Bond poems are all going to be based on Ian Fleming's original 14 books, and they're all sonnets. Let me just find the poem. Sorry, guys. Okay, so this is the first one in this series. Bond things. Some things are very dear to me. A good breakfast, half pint of iced OJ, bacon, 3 eggs scrambled lightly, a double coffee, toast with marmalade, steamy baths followed by cold showers. A good masseuse will knead out all the kinks. Red carnations, my favorite flowers, to sleep and sleep, at least for 40 winks. The enemies of peace are always present, and pretty girls in need of saving, from brutal men demented and hell-bent. But why am I the one who's braving? I reel in my mind, ravish this repast, enjoy moment for moment, stretch it out to last and last. Thanks everybody for coming. We couldn't do it without you.
Thank you, everyone. I want to give a big Brownstone thank you to Gerald Wagner, to Lynn McGee, Hilly Sedaris, to my left arm, right arm, Roxanne Hoffman, to you, open micers, to everyone, to Brooklyn for the sun. At least we're in spring now, I think. For how long, I don't know. I mean, I hope.
All the way to summer.
Yeah, I hope things turn for the better for us, everybody. I mean, because this has been the SS show.
It'll be cold tomorrow in the 40s.
Oh yeah, back to the way this whole year has been going.
From 80 to 40.
It's ridiculous. This global warming, and also the whole, there's something wrong with the atmosphere here.
Well, I gotta go.
Something not right. Something's not right. There's too much evil going on.
Bad karma floating around.
Right.
I'm trying to
Well,
keep
it was nice to have this 2-hour kind
That's
of like
us.
oasis.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's a little
And
short,
listen
but
to all the wonderful poetry, guys. Really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Great afternoon. Wonderful.
Thank you. And don't forget to come back next month. We got April 26th. We have Maria Lasella, Mike Jakovic, and Ann Wallace. They'll be our featured guests. And thank you, Lynn. Okay, thank you, Lynn.
I'm gonna head out now. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Enjoyed everybody's
Good
poems.
afternoon.
Thank you for sharing, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you, Patricia.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye
Have
bye.
a good.
Love you, Canada.
Oh, thank
not
you.
charging you anything extra.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Canadian friends, thank you so much.
We're happy to be there. Happy to
Thank
join
you.
in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care.
Feel better, Kathy.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
People still here? Yeah.
Yeah, we still, yeah, maybe they just, okay.
Thank you.
I'm gonna shut down the meeting and call you, Patty.